Hello, my name is Doug and I live on the beautiful Lake of the Ozarks. I'm a guitarist, and a bassist, and a saxophonist, and so I'll be teaching you how to record an acoustic instrument. Now guitars, keyboards, and other instruments have output jacks, and they can usually be plugged directly into an interface device of some sort. But the majority of woodwinds and brass instruments don't have these types of jacks, so they'll have to be mic'd. Now, in our recent studies, Mr. Stearns went over the two main types of microphones, dynamic and condenser, and I'll be using a Samson Q7 mic to record this saxophone. It's a 1926 Lion & Healy Silver C. The Samson Q7 is a dynamic mic, and so there's not going to be any phantom power going to it, and it's mostly used for stage vocals and things of that nature. The Samson Q7 is probably not the best mic that you can use to record a saxophone, but it's about the best mic I've got. So anyway, I'll also be using Avid ProTools to record the saxophone, and I'll be also using a backing track of a song written by Chuck Mangione. The Samson Q7 is plugged into a DigiDesign M-Box Mini, and that's where all of our A to D action is going to be taking place. And of course, the output is USB. It's going to go out of the USB output from the M-Box over into the USB input on my PC here. So what we're going to do next is set up a session. I'll switch to a better screen where you can kind of see what's going on with that. And we'll create the session, pull up the track, and start recording.
Okay, the first time we open up the Pro Tools LE window, we see these here. You can choose from several different things, recent sessions and so forth. We're going to create a new blank session, 24-bit, just kind of accept the defaults here. So now we want to give it a name. I'm going to go ahead and give it Demo 2 here. Tell it to overwrite that's everything in there. We're going to say yes. And so now it's basically building all these files and folders to support your tracks. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to import a piece of audio that I converted earlier from a MIDI file. And so now we're going to go ahead and convert this here, and then we're going to say done, and it should import that. So we're here at Demo 2 audio files. It's going to save those files in there, and we're going to use that current folder, and now it's processing that audio to be able to insert it into my project here. And so on this particular computer, it takes a few seconds for it to do that. And here we're going to select a new track. And so we're going to say OK on that. And so here we have our file that we've just inserted. And let's see what that sounds like. And here we go. So that's over here on our monitors. So we can hear that through the monitors. But to avoid any feedback, I'm going to go ahead and shut the monitors off, and we'll stop this file. Now I want to record the saxophone track, so I'm going to have to click on Track, and then New, and we're going to create one mono audio track. In samples, I can add more tracks if I'd like, but at this point we're just going to record the saxophone. So I want to create this track here. Now down here, I've had to change the resolution on this screen so it'd fit in my video editor. But anyway, we can rename this to sax. This is already called, well, whatever the name of the song is. And then, of course, I could rename this to sax if I want to. And so now what we're going to have to do is, as you can see here, when we arm this track, I can basically test it with my voice. But what I need to do is test it with the saxophone. So let's try that next. And I'm going to have to hook up the saxophone just a second. Now, something I noticed as I was waiting for my reed to rehydrate is that you can kind of see on the level meter here that I'm able to pick up some background noise from computer fans and things of that nature. if we look at the green line here, and I crank up the input level, you can hear the noise in the back of the room. So one rule is to always check that out and see if you can hear junk you don't want. So I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. And now you can hear my voice, but not so much of the fan noise and so forth. So still waiting for my reed to warm up, and we'll start recording here in just a second. Okay, looks like we've got some reed action going on now, and I'm going to run a little test level here. And that looks about right. So we already have this track enabled, and we're actually going to start and attempt to record our first track. Alright, and I don't want to push my luck with this. So we're going to go ahead now and switch over to the tracks. I'm going to unhook the saxophone. And when I say unhook, I mean unhook it from me. And so we should have a good track in here now. Let's go ahead and we're going to hit Control equals. And that should show our audio here that I recorded, a little piece from the saxophone. And then, of course, my backing track. So one thing I do like about ProTools is you can pull just about anything into it, and it'll let you do whatever you want. There's so many thousands of setup aspects to ProTools that, again, that's why I'm taking this class. Hopefully, some of you folks out there can kind of help me get steered in the right direction here as far as what I need to do now to go in and set up EQ and some effects and things like that. So anyway, let's go on ahead and we'll save our file now. Whoops, we're going to go File, Save As, and right here I have Demo 2, and you can see the different folders and files that it creates as it creates your session. These are all important, I'm sure, but at this point I'm not real sure what they do. So again, that's what we're all learning here. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on that. It's going to ask me if I want to overwrite it, and I'm going to say yes. And so that's how I get audio into ProTools, or better yet, I record an acoustic instrument.
So, and as they say, it's just that simple. I want to thank everybody for taking a look, and hopefully I can get to where I know this system and music production a whole lot more as the course progresses. Thanks again.